chairs.
Thank you. Hard work. Me too.
Does this go back to you? Back to you?
One and two presenting it, so I'll just leave that there. You know what?
Careful of that guy over there. You know each other?
That's it. Wait, I think I gave it to you.
Oh, you do?
Oh, Chip, you're joining us on Oh, I have extras. Do you? Look at this.
Okay, let me see. I don't know style. In a row. But I don't know what I look like. Okay, but see what I don't think I'm a bald aviator.
It's very retro. I don't put it. Oh, you like that?
How was the rest of your day?
Yeah, it's okay.
Did you get a read too, or?
Yes, I did. I got a lot of
Jane carries two
And that's your pencil.
You want some?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Can't decide which one I should do.
Johnson.
Who's this girl? I'm well, how you doing yourself? Please help yourself. Oh, Eileen, I'm going to call you, I promise. We haven't talked. Because there's something that we should dig on through there. It's like Halloween's early.
I turned it on.
No, I'm gonna be good. Thank you.
I can't buy Halloween candy until that day.
Yeah.
It will disappear.
All this being in order, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Oh.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wish to announce that the 48-hour notice is required under the Open Public Meetings Act, was emailed to the Asbury Press, the Co-Star, and the New Coaster on December the 19th of 2024, that a copy has been placed on the bulletin board in the Borough office, and that a copy has been filed with the municipal clerk. Please be advised, public attendance for meetings through Zoom is a courtesy only. If for any reason Zoom fails or is disconnected, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption, and action can and will be taken, providing that there is an in-person quorum. Mr. Noble?
Here.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Here.
Mr. Nowicki?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We've got a pretty full agenda tonight. Hopefully, we'll move through it at a pretty good pace. We are going to begin with a quick change of the agenda. I'll turn to Council President DeNoble in a second, and then we will proceed to an executive session that should run 20 minutes or a little more, 20 to 25 minutes. So just a heads up, the full meeting won't really get going for about a half an hour. But with that said, Jane, did you care to make a motion?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion that we do the presentations and bids first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna switch my glasses. Okay, so we are gonna start out on a very happy note, and we're delighted to present a certificate of appreciation this evening. Our superintendent, Dr. Heidelberg, the Board of Ed members, and the entire staff at the Bradley Elementary School work incredibly hard, consistently going above and beyond. And it's truly exciting when we get to recognize someone for their outstanding work. And tonight, we honor a dedicated educator who has made a tremendous impact. Heather Sauer has been teaching science to the grades 3 through 8, 3rd grade through 8th grade, for the past 11 years. And this year, she received the prestigious recognition as a sustainability hero. Heather's initiatives, including founding the Environmental Club, organizing the planting of grass in the dunes, and establishing a working hydroponic garden for their students. On behalf of the mayor and council, we would like to thank Heather Sauer for her dedication, innovation, and leadership in sustainability. Please join us in congratulating her as we present their certificate of appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we are going to present the certificate of appreciation. Come a little closer. A little point.
No, I
We go way back. This is presented to Heather Sauer, Sustainability Hero, for inspiring and engaging Bradley Beach Elementary School students in hands-on science education projects to promote health, energy efficiency, and environmental awareness. And this is a quote from Heather. "We are a small but mighty community, and together we can make a real difference. That is the essence of sustainability." Whoa! We also have Dr. Heidelberg is here
Come
from
on in.
the superintendent of Bradley Beach Elementary. Come on in.
Okay, you want me, you sure?
Ready?
Okay.
Perfect.
And would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I am going to read off a piece of paper, possibly, but I'm going to try my best to do it. So, first of all, I'm truly humbled and honored to be here tonight, to be recognized by all of you. This is such a big recognition, and I literally could not have done it without everyone by my side. Dr. Heidelberg, my own family who's here tonight, the Board of Education, my students who are my heart, my environmental club, the staff at Bradley Beach Elementary School, the families at Bradley Beach Elementary School, and just BBA, like Bradley Beach as a whole. Like, I am honored to be such a part of such an amazing school and community, and that's why we are where we are tonight. And again, I know it's an individual award, but it shouldn't have been. I really wish it could have been a whole group award, because this was not just me. Bridget Devane actually started this with me, and she's the one who got it up and running with me, and I literally could not have done it without her. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone here tonight, Bradley Beach community, and again, my staff, my family, my kids, sorry, you. Jane has also done tree information with all of our kids, and I've learned so much through you. So thank you so much. But again, everyone, thank you. I really appreciate this recognition. It's really big, but it's because of all of you. Like I said, small but mighty, right? So here we are. So let's continue this sustainability, and I look forward to doing that with you guys in the future.
Thanks.
So
Thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thanks. And also, this guy made me do a recycling video when I first started at Bradley Beach 12 years ago? He's like, come on, sustainability for the town, let's talk about recycling.
Wait, talk about efficiency. All that speech was on that little piece of paper.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much.
all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so now we will return to the agenda and move to item 5, which is executive session. And as I mentioned earlier, we expect this will be about 20 minutes or so, and then we will return. So I'll make a motion to move to executive session.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Zupatilli?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay, we go grab my key.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Worst case scenario, we're looking at
That's where you get the bikes. That's where the bikes are.
She wants to ride bicycles on the beach. The only time she was there, she loved to go to ride bicycles.
Yeah, you have to go to the gym house in the street, right? Palmetto Dunes is really a cool spot. It's not that easy to get in, but it's and the sea life are the streets.
They were only there for a day and then we're driving down to Savannah.
Savannah is awesome. Yeah, that's a good trip. It's not yours.
Right, now we're about it, hurricane.
Yeah.
Back this week. Coming back next week.
Well, maybe it's.
Where are you going? Wow, long trip to that.
12 days. 10 days ago. Course is there, like cats, so out of the 10 rounds, 2 of are cars. The rest of them are all cats. It's a lot more places. 6, 7 miles a day. I could actually play in the shark and carry carry my own bag. And then have like an extra, like an old, like a caddy bag.
How long is it like? It's nonstop, really?
Pretty cool.
So how does it travel?
That's why I looked it up. It looks like they go like down
Does it go over the west coast or
Texas.
it goes over Texas and down?
And they go down. See, that's what I saw. Some guys are going to LA.
How many are you going? 12?
It's my friend's international golf. He'll give a trip every year. So somebody dropped out. So, but I always tell them, today, they gave all the names of all the guys and the itinerary. We have a guide who takes us to each place, hotels are 16, 90. It's crazy. All the top courses.
Good. Are some of the courses at the same hotel or where you gotta pick
Yeah,
up every single?
we actually work our way down to Wellington, and then that's our last night. Then we fly off and then fly to these guys got all mapped out from Europe, but it had the names of all guys. It's like this guy, member of Pebble Beach, member of Pine Valley, member of member. It says TJ comes with my caddy buddy. Shark yeah, it should be some interesting one.
So, on your trip, economy, you going business?
So I said to my friend, you know, she was like, I can't afford to go to business. So, I said, well, what do you do? He goes, I'll go here. I don't spend money on that. If I'm going to go skiing, I'll hire a helicopter for a holiday. Because I think that's a nice one. I'll ride on it. Okay. That's great. I think we'll get
No, you should.
What's the longest you ever flown before?
we direct to apply. So
That's 12.
recently, just, 6, 7 hours.
I came back in a charter, finishing before Nita and I were married, we were still living there. So this is all 4 years ago. It was charter to Greece. So I came back, we had to do fueling in lifting stations.
Oh,
Belgium. Yeah, Belgium. I did fueling, when I was on the plane for like 14 hours. It was just like everything. Relationship. So I was walking around the plane.
I'm sure everybody's gonna be. If they give me a deal to bump to business class, like this, last minute, I'll do it. Not, that's pretty common occurrence.
We were gonna go to Fort Worth the other day. Economy plus, about 1,200 in economy, so it was like 3,400.
That's my Wellington flight.
What airline is it?
JFK tomorrow. Well, somebody's taking the car, so I'm just going to That's true.
And it is. Yeah, I was reading and it's like little birdie.
I'm just showing up wherever they tell me to show up. It's just, unfortunately, the balance of what's frustrating is that we're sending an increase in the last 12 pages. So 62 pages we blind getting these things to do. So their stuff is mostly what we can do. But yet, what is reading? Nobody reads anymore. And I think things to read, I'm not reading that. Obviously, I have, and I've said that to me, I have a different perspective than my mission. Because, it's been elected official, but I've been in that, obviously, the people who I want to push through. I've gotten phone calls from the Senate, and the people saying, hey, you know, I know what it's not. Yeah, so this is the presentation is in, and I don't it's really, since says you'll be able to elect your mayor. And now we're not and I bring up the rest of them. If I would have voted for them, they would have done this. And they switched it off. That's a whole different vote. You know what? If they pass it, it's great because it takes out. You know what? worst time is we get leftover budgets.
Just the light.
Legal. The others. The joint insurance fund is basically just a pool of money.
This is my
Big with-
other good friend from
You see the firms that are mentioned? Yep. And the lawsuit in Ocean was settled by the judge. The lawsuit now is ongoing, there's actually, there's managers who are whistleblowers, they're all whistleblower lawsuits. And now the assistant manager is, so they have two lawsuits based on that. So that's, and all it was three, the mayor's new, two council people to vote on it. And because they didn't like it, they wouldn't do it, they wouldn't do it. We agreed to the things they told me to do. Check the rental, garbage, but again, we're gonna have some problems, but this one has proven not to be.
Welcome to come over,
I don't know when they'll actually do it, but they're all now insurance and all the bills, so that they can go back and forth.
Well, we could have done a situation where we appeal the state to do the design for a council form that Spring Lake Secrets Heights reality, which is the best. I worked for,
When we got there first, there were more than enough tables.
everybody, you have to do your own internal design. The mayor is the vote, and there's 6 council people, and they all have to be part of it. So it's like, a department. Like, I had code and law, so I had sports, and I had a construction equipment. So if I needed things, I had to. There's a business administrator. And the administrator worked with us council. They're parts of it worked really well. Like sometimes you go to the base and I know they'd say, well, I didn't get that. We also want to we don't want to bang ties, we don't want to bang it. So we have to but we work together very well. The bill is I need a copy of that's what you wait 6 months and then you put it like what's that? So they're expanding their bill. Yeah, I mean, they decide on our costs, but nobody wants to take responsibility. Right? I mean, it's all who you look for. Go for somebody who never went to a council meeting. That's what you get. So you just have to vet them first, make sure they're honest. How many times have you said this?
So when I send you
The credentials of getting candidates and all that, we're getting free stuff. Amazing. Great Hey, how about this? Larry Fox about 4 years. Really? Makes no sense. The voters won't see I've almost been willing to bet the first 5 years. I used to go look for these posts and say like, this is what we have. This is a bad number, but we have no other choice but to request the C. And that's basically what's happening. We get superstar non-partisan. Like everybody's non-partisan. None of these businessmen are non-partisan. Jim Humphrey, these people are very and that's what it is. They get the phone calls.
I don't see it, but.
That's not
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be worse.
This is crazy right now because now the slate is up for
No, they're cool. They're exceptional. Do you remember what their stuff was? Yeah. And they pick up their packet at the office. They would open up the packet 10 minutes before the meeting. I mean, these guys are researching. It's totally different. All I see is us a ton of money. The engineering. I mean, he can read the bid spec, he can read he's phenomenal. Oh, he's a gentleman. Oh, yeah. There's an that's gonna happen. They all know this. Everything's a settlement. Nobody wants to, nobody wants to go to court. I like to go to court all over. These guys go on break.
This is part of the legacy of Mount Olive. Inadequate. They got pushed into the urban areas.
Yeah, we can.
trade in, break it up. This exceptional team.
Do you remember where you got it?
Structure, something that
Oh, absolutely, and not only that, but, you know, the just did not get it right. But that was what was protected. And not only that, but the reason there's not a lawsuit there was because they never stayed there, they just kept watching. They stayed there. But they were like, because the way it's set up is that so you can get rid of something. It's not nobody's taking away.
It's not the first day that something goes wrong.
You have to create a dossier. You just don't go around.
So don't make it sound like.
No, you're not getting I mean, I have the lawsuits, Ocean Township, most of them say I want to. If you get somebody good, if you want to get somebody that's sitting there watching as you, yeah, you're gonna.
I would think a private person, first and say,
They gotta have their certification. How many people want to try to work to get the certification? I just met a financial services person, and she worked for Merrill Lynch for years. It's like, I'd like to get a job that I said, hey, listen, your skill set, why don't you get your certification? I see it. She said, oh, it's gonna take me 18 months. And I go, listen, you're 62. You can be working until you're 75 if you want to do that. But nah, I don't think I want to. I'm not like, you know, people want to do this stuff. But that's the problem. There's no conduit from public service. It's all like you come up as a clerk and you're but you have got another in
I texted that to myself, so Robin, you want extra?
Listen, the municipal deficiencies that outline the financial deficiencies. I think they make oh, Mitch is gonna be over. Yeah, Mitch is gonna, this financial, this guy's has but at least it's not that one council that's gonna tell you every meeting that I have in here, so. He was right there, though. He knew so much. Yeah. It was embarrassing.
Okay, we'll make a motion that we return to public session.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gutenzzi?
Next
Yes.
up, we have resolution 2025-304, a resolution authorizing the settlement of pending litigation before the Superior Court of New Jersey, Monmouth County. Would anybody like to make any additional comments or questions on this before we go ahead and conclude this?
I would actually, I'm sorry, I was looking for the actual resolution in this here. Sorry.
That's okay, we can get to that.
Yeah, I got it. Yes, I just wanted to share what was written in the resolution specifically, and share this with the public. That despite the borough's continuing denial of any liability in the action, it is in the best interest of the taxpayers of the borough that the action be fully and finally settled insofar as the JIF is financially responsible. Therefore, the borough previously tendered its deductible to the JIF, and the borough cannot bear the cost of continuing litigation in the event of adverse effects upon its insurance coverage. It's
quickly, this is, basically a business decision there, where the borough is denying all the allegations and the claims made therein, and, they're expressly denying all liability. So, rather than continue to litigate and defend against the claims made, the JIF is financially responsible for the action, except for the borough's $1,500 deductible. Any further comments?
Yeah, I just want to add that, when we say business decision, this all comes down to the cost of litigation and what insurance companies, how to measure risk. And at the end of the day, what is that risk of that number becoming so much more or less based on a jury? And therefore, when you look at these, in my experience, with corporate America and other HR issues and whatnot and claims, you're best off just finding and following that advice of the professionals and looking to see how to balance that risk, minimizing it. The $1,500 payment remaining for us, it's the right thing to do is to close this down and advance Grand Beach to the future and put this behind us.
Move the borough forward. I agree. Any other comments? Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-304.
Second.
Mrs. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
No.
Mayor Gubitosi?
I will abstain. Okay, back to the agenda. Item 6 is workshops, and today we have none scheduled. Item 7 we have already covered, the presentations. Item 8, approval of minutes. And I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 16, 2025 council business meeting.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. Item 9 on the agenda, opening it up to public comments or questions pertaining to any item on the agenda only. Public comment or questions? Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm Marta Young, representing Clean Water Action, live in Lincroft, New Jersey. I want to thank you all very, very much for the introduction of Skip the Stuff ordinance, which is the campaign in which businesses provide cutlery and condiments upon request. You guys will make the 26th New Jersey policy, which is fabulous. I did a case study for the town of Red Bank, which shows a 94% reduction in the amount of stuff the businesses are providing, which equates to money saved for these businesses, let alone the fact that more often than not, the cutlery and condiments are given to people who take it home and we don't know what to do with it, so we shove it in a junk drawer, we put it directly into a wastebasket, we put it in the little ketchup packets or mayonnaise packets in the back of the refrigerator until they begin to rot or spill out of the drawers. That is a huge benefit to businesses, let alone the litter that's going to save the towns. The 70% of litter comes from food and beverages, which clog storm drains, which then add to flooding for towns. Plastic is making the news for the amount of contamination that we're all exposed to. Eating that plastic fork that breaks is an easy way of proving to the studies that we now have a plastic spoon's worth of weight of a plastic spoon in our brain. But it's leading to breast cancer, testicular cancers, infertility, and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and a slew of other diseases. So thank you very much. Really appreciate your leadership on this. The state is hopefully going to be passing state during lame duck. We're getting great momentum on that, great feedback, strong legislation and support. So thank you very much. Really appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions? Yes, sir.
West 518, just to clarify that past resolution,
with the way that vote rolled out. So it was approved, with one abstain, no, that's approved.
Yes.
So it takes three votes. Yeah, just to clarify, okay, very good, all right, thank you.
Sure, thank you. Other comments or questions in the room? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment. Move on to item 10 on the agenda, ordinances. And we have a number of ordinances to introduce this evening. Let me just remind everyone that we won't open any of these items to public comment during the introduction phase. In our next council meeting, to the extent we're moving them forward to adopt, you'll have opportunities to comment as a public. So for introductions, first bond ordinance is 2025, the first ordinance is a bond ordinance, 2025-31. Any comments or questions from the council?
I just wanted to point out, first of all, that this increase amount to appropriate is for the gate, to include the gate, is that correct?
This is the outlet gate at Silver Lake that controls the water flow out of the lake to the ocean outfall that's under construction today.
Right, so to get that in this project is huge for everyone who lives near Sylvan Lake. So I just wanted to say that, and also, there's an 80-20 liability, right? So the,
75, 75, 25
oh, it's 75-25, so 25 is shared between Bradley Beach and Avon.
for the project. The change order though right now is not necessarily going to be 75-25. We're in discussions with DEP for them to apply their contingency. They have contingency money in their contract. So as the worst case, we'll be sharing at 50-50 with Avon. But we're hopeful that DEP will not spend all their contingency money and we'll be able to apply some of that money towards this construction so that it would help provide some, alleviate some costs to the boroughs. And so, the worst case was that we were going to have to do this, bid it out ourselves, go through a lengthy process. And DEP is also expediting our permits and working with us so that we can incorporate this into this construction project versus us going on a long, dam approval process. I say dam, not as an adjective, I say noun. That would take a long period of time to get through the whole process. But because they're doing this work down there already, and we've argued that this is connected to that project, that they're in agreement to incorporate this as long as we could demonstrate that the funding would be in place in November, and they would work with us to get the permits in place and be able to move it into construction in the winter months.
So the worst case scenario on the gate would be a $960,000 liability shared with Avon. And
Yes.
the best case scenario would be
Less.
that we pay, that the two communities pay 25% of that. Best case.
That would be the best case.
Okay.
There could be a better case if the cost could go up.
Well, and right, the costs are not there yet, that's an estimate, and so we still have to go through a negotiation with the contractor to be able to establish the price.
Great job.
The one other point that you haven't yet mentioned, but I think it's important for the residents to understand, we did a bond ordinance back in '22 for $3.5 million. And when we do a bond ordinance, we're authorizing the borough to borrow it, but we don't actually borrow the money, take the money out until we need it. What we're doing is amending that ordinance from a couple of years ago, from 3 years ago, to add on the number you guys have been discussing, the $960,000, because the original $3.5 million was tied to the outfall pipe, the pipe that runs right out into the ocean. In order to do the work on the outfall pipe, what Councilman Nowicki and our engineers and our contractors have identified is we need to be able, we don't have a functioning gate. That's a separate project. However, we deemed it necessary to do it in order to fix the outfall pipe. So we're amending this bond ordinance to include the repair of the gate in the broader outfall project. And that's important in terms of how we apply for grant funding and so forth, to make sure it's all part of the same project.
And this is to replace the gate.
Yes, replace it, full replacement.
And the amendment is, as you heard, $960,000. That's $800,000 of estimated hard costs, $160,000 of estimated soft costs. Soft costs being designed by the engineers and permitting and things like that.
Right, construction management,
Yep. So that number could be less. That is what we were advised to authorize to borrow, but we always authorize on the high end to make sure we have enough. So it could be a few $100,000 less. Certainly, we're hoping it will be. So, any other comment? I'll make a motion that we approve the introduction of bond ordinance 2025-31.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Introduction of ordinance 2020, of amendment to ordinance, it's 2025-32. This is the now famous skip the stuff ordinance introduction. Any comments or questions?
Even though we had great comment from the public, I'll just reiterate, 25 towns have done this in New Jersey, we would be the 26th. There's a state bill pending, so maybe we can be the town that got the state to move it along and get it done. We workshopped this a while ago, everybody will remember. I definitely got some feedback from some businesses in town. Some of them are essentially already doing this, and you know, on the one hand, some say, well, we're already doing this, so we don't need an ordinance. But I really thought about this long and hard, and with the Environmental Commission and others. And you know, we can't always count on having these great, responsible businesses in town that do the right thing without a law. So it's probably better off to have a law. It's going to cut down on plastic waste and split it into two. Is it time to second it, Mayor?
Well, thank you, Councilman, for, well, number one, thank you for leading us down this particular path. It was your initiative that brought it to our attention. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the introduction of 2025-32. Skip the stuff.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. I probably should note that the next 4 ordinance introductions are largely cleanup efforts on our part before year end. Little things and if you look at any of these, you'll see they're relatively minor edits, changes. I'll briefly mention them as we go through them, but largely cleanup efforts on the part of the council to just get us ready for 2026. So with that said, the next introduction is 2025-33, an ordinance amending Chapter 270 Land Development of the Borough's Revised General Ordinances to revise and clarify regulations pertaining to planting strips. The changes are largely focused on wording in our ordinance that we're finding difficult to enforce. Specifically, we have current language that talks about grandfathering artificial turf, for example, or pavers, things that should not be in the planting strip that are, if we say grandfather before a certain date. But it's really difficult, if not impossible, for us to track when some of these additions of astroturf or pavers were made. So we're amending the language just to make it a little cleaner for our own enforceability. Any comments or questions on this one?
Yeah, I have some comments and questions. It seems, I agree with you about the grandfathering, I do get that. I feel like we used to make a distinction, you know, we're sort of saying nothing but grass, but they are, if you have a property without a driveway, you are allowed to have a walkway, not more than 3 feet wide, across the planting strip. And I thought that we used to make a distinction about a curb cut. If there's a curb cut there, like that's, you definitely have it. If you don't have a curb cut, I don't know why you should be allowed to just have that. And that seems to have, that part has gone away. I just feel like some people that don't have a walkway across the planting strip, they're just gonna put one because this says they can, whereas I thought it used to just say well, if they don't have a driveway, then yeah. I just feel like some more people are gonna put that in. But what does that leave one, if you do have a driveway and there's a curb cut for that walkway across the planting strip, what does that leave back?
Thank you for your question. I gotta make sure I understand it, John, because I believe we did not change that language. You said that we've changed it. Where have you seen that one? I think that language was already there and we did not change it.
It's changed.
Do you have it? Can you reference what section it is?
I was just going from memory that we used to make this distinction about the curb cut, and it seemed like now that is not the case.
I don't think we've made any changes. All we're basically saying for that particular issue, the cement walk, is, you know, those little 3 foot by 3 foot squares, and a lot of us, my own house, we have these in the planting strip. It's a pervious coverage. It's not, it goes back to the horse and buggy days. We don't really need that as a general rule. So what this was attempting to do was, along with other things we don't care to have in the planting strip, such as AstroTurf. That's a good one, pavers.
Sure. No, I agree with the not grandfathering, but it got eliminated, it's the bottom of the first page of what that was eliminated. Just for properties with driveways, walkways within the grass planting strip are grandfathered and permitted, but may not be enlarged if the walkway was in place and aligned with the curb cut. So again, we used to make this distinction that even if you had a driveway, if you had a curb cut to that walkway across the planting strip, that was okay, you could keep that. So I'm wondering, now that this is getting rid of that, where does that leave a property with a driveway that has a walkway across the planting strip and also has a curb cut?
Okay, so you left the most important part as you read that, which is aligned with the curb cut as of July 15, 2020, right? So we could not measure when some of these take place unless our code enforcement is going out every day and we're seeing new cement saying, oh, they're putting in a new thing.
I think it would show up on someone's survey. So if they ever.
Okay, that's just not the way code enforcement works. They're not gonna.
Well, I know, but if somebody asked me, said, I mean, if it ever became an issue, if it became like, can you keep it, can you not keep it? If you can't produce a survey before that date that shows it, then you can't keep it. And if you can't produce a survey before that date, then you can keep it.
Well, okay, it's, what you're describing is an enforcement nightmare, because they just can't do that easily, but it's not telling people who have it, like I have one, it's not telling me I have to take it out. If I live this long, 20 years from now, when I sell my house, to take occupancy, the new owner would have to deal with the curb cut. So we're not aggressively taking anything away, other than over time, we'd like all of our planting strips to have more pervious coverage. So for example, if you have a curb cut, this is not an imposition on you until someone wants to buy your house.
No, I understand, then it's just a lot, like doing the curb work is a lot more work than just picking up a couple papers that you get across the planning.
Do you want to propose a change in the language at all?
No, I just want to make sure I understand the way this is,
So when there's a curb cut, and then someone sells their house next year, the new occupants need to remove that curb cut?
It's the curb cut for the walkway, not the.
In the walkway,
Yeah.
in the walkway.
No.
Because there's so many homes with curb cuts, right?
Yeah, it's not, no, we're talking about the cement, the 3 foot by 3 foot cement slab. Some of them have curb cuts.
That's what I mean. Like
We're
that.
not saying remove the curb cut, we're saying remove the cement slab.
I guess that's what I meant. So
Yes.
any home that turns over that has that would have to do
Yes,
that.
yeah. By the way, code goes through this with well, they should, if we're doing our job collectively, they should go through this with every CCO, certificate of current occupancy. So, you know, they check for, I don't know, garbage disposals and, whatever, all kinds of things on your property, are you in compliance or not? And it's up to you, the property owner, to work with the person buying your property. Is your property in compliance? So it'll be a thing added to a checklist saying, you gotta remove the cement from the flash.
It's an effort just to make more pervious
Right.
lands. You
No,
know, we have a lot of responsibility being near the ocean, and, you know, you wanna reduce stormwater, flooding, ponding. So I recently removed mine. I had my sidewalk worked on, and I got rid of that piece between the sidewalk and the
I
street.
mean, just knowing the streets of Bradley Beach, also there are so many cement planting strings.
Yes, that's
Things like that. So
completely-
all of those things have to be remediated when there's a
Yes.
turnover on the property.
Yes.
And the other thing that we're doing is when we replace the sewer, and we do the laterals from the main and the center of the street out to the property to make a connection, if the contractor disturbs that little, the walkway, and that's a planting strip, they're not gonna replace the walkway, they're gonna put it back as grass. Unless, of course, you don't have a driveway, then you're allowed to have it, and that would be replaced.
Thank you for, I appreciate the discussion.
Does anyone want to propose any edits or changes to this language? All right, I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2025-33 pertaining to revising and clarifying regulations for the power plant ships.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. 2025-34 is, we're amending a couple of zoning fees. Again, we've done this throughout the year. These are fees that haven't been updated in probably over a decade. For example, moving zoning permit application from $45 to $75. Any comments or questions? All right, I will make a motion that we approve 2025-34, amending chapter 450 of the zoning.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. 2025-35, this is another modest amendment, but it's important once again. It again pertains to grandfathering, which, as I mentioned earlier, we just have no ability to measure dates of when things were planted or cement that has been placed. In this case, we are amending our bamboo and invasive plants, invasive species ordinance to remove grandfathering language. Any comments or questions?
Am I right, since this one's not marked up, this is, you just started fresh, like, you don't, this is not a, right, you're not,
No, this,
there's not like
You're right.
strike-throughs and underlines,
So
you just started fresh.
rewriting it.
Yeah.
there should be, though, I think.
It said it was replacing.
Okay.
Should we
It
put-
said that in the beginning, didn't it?
So my only thing, and this it seems really good, I definitely remember talking to a person at Rose Bamboo for a living, and their problem with our ordinance was that, is that there's no reason to come out and inspect, unless, you know, except for like a year later. So I see in the third page, letter C, there's follow-up inspections, 1, 2, 3, at the bottom of that third page. It says code enforcement can come out in 30 days, and then it says they come out in 6 months and 12 months. Do you remember talking to this person, the contract? I remember, I thought he was adamant about just once a year. There's no reason to come out. I mean, I don't know if that substantially changes this, but do you know how we got the 6 month and the 12 month?
It was from, plagiarizing from other ordinances, but that was one other related challenge that we face is there's no such thing as bamboo licensing, so we can't say a licensed bamboo.
Of course, right, it's just, he just does it for, I'm just taking it
So,
over.
yeah, so in our effort to get the best answer, we probably erred on the side of over inspecting, but the person you and I spoke with was come back in a year because you can't tell anything. This ordinance was a compromise because we only had inspected upon removal.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be
Okay.
6 months. of
Well, let me ask the attorney a quick question. Greg, can we pass this in this form, and then really we talk about it and figure out that really we should take a sentence out of this thing and get rid of the 6 month inspection? Can we pass the same ordinance at the next meeting, even though there's a sentence difference?
Do you want to remove interim inspection permit?
Yeah, well, this has
That's a nominal change, that doesn't change the.
Okay, so we could pass this as to, like, do a little more homework, and if we decide, is that okay with you, Mayor?
Well, other discussion?
Well, I mean, like, so first, within 30 days, you have to remove it, then 6 months, they're gonna check, see how it's going, and then they do it again in 12 months. I don't think there's any harm in doing it
Right,
twice.
this guy, I'm not remembering verbatim what he said,
Right.
there's just no sense in coming back until the year goes by.
Okay, well.
Like, I think it was, because it's not gonna spring, it's not gonna propagate, but send out new things till like the spring, so depending on what time of year, like 6
Right.
months later, it could be, and that almost sounds like a waste of inspection resources if they're limited, so. I'm not saying change it now, just pass this one as it is, I'm totally fine with that.
There's not that many residents that have this. It's not like, thousands.
I'm interested in getting it right, because
Yeah.
we're redoing this because we really made a great effort last time. Through practice, we found out that it could be a little bit better, so I'm just trying to go with what the expert let me do my due diligence, share with all you, and if we wanna take out a sentence in the next one, we do it.
Fair enough.
And John, if you, what you're thinking you want to review is the 6-month inspection.
Yeah,
So for example, if you want to take that out, it would be as simple as item number 2, additional inspections shall occur, it would be singular, and additional inspections shall occur at 12 months.
yeah.
And Greg, you think that would be minor enough that we would not have to reintroduce the ordinance?
In terms of one of the inspections that's not needed, but in the overall regulatory, like, that changes a lot of things about the regulations. That's not very,
That's not important.
It's not a very big part.
Okay. I just want to make sure that
It may
I'm
take
confirming what John said.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Any other comments or questions about 2025-35 bamboo? Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the introduction of 2025-35 bamboo and invasive plants, noting that Councilman Weber may do additional review before adoption.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Ordinance 2025-36, the last of our introductions, amending Chapter 160, Construction Codes, Uniform Certificates of Occupancy of the Borough's Revised General Ordinances. All this is, again, is cleanup. A number of months ago, we changed almost all of our fees. At that point, a lot of them were 20 years old or older. They had not been updated. We have a new construction official, Brian Curry, new and nice, back with the borough. He's been with the borough before. He identified to us a handful, probably 10, across 5 pages of ordinance, maybe 10 fees that we had adjusted that needed to be readjusted to align with uniform construction code. So you can look through the document if you'd like, but they're relatively nominal adjustments. We just have to make sure we're aligned with the UCC.
I can comment.
Please.
Item H, I guess what page is this? The fee for roofing and siding work completed on structures, that's been completely removed, so we've removed that requirement for a fee?
I'm guessing, I don't know this, but I'm guessing that's because you no longer need a permit for roofing and siding work, that, whereas you used to. Does that sound right, anybody? Yeah, yes.
Right?
Correct.
Is that correct? I did not know that.
Okay, so that was one question I had, and then the other, it references on page 3, where the borough, let me just see page 3, because I'm not able to read my own notes. The fee to erect a fence greater than 6 feet in height shall be $75. Do we have fences greater than 6 feet in height in the borough?
We do not. Good catch.
And where's page?
Page 3,
Letter O.
letter O.
The middle of it, on the top, there's a top.
Letter O.
Yeah, no, I see it, I see it. And that didn't change, right? That's already in our ordinances.
Yeah.
Well, Paul makes a good point. You could erect a fence greater than 6 feet, but you would need a variance. I'm not sure you would ever get such a variance, but,
It only costs you $75.
Again, this is intended to be cleanup. No one had any in-depth discussions about why we should have fences over 6 feet, but this wasn't even a change intended, Sean, so I don't know. I don't want to strike it. You want to table the entire edits until we find out more.
I just don't see any reason if we don't allow fences greater than 6 feet at this point, why we would have that in there, that's all.
Yeah, I guess it's, the obvious is if they got a variance to get it, they have to pay $75.
And if we had nothing in there, and they got a variance for it.
They wouldn't have to pay $75.
Is there a difference on, I don't know this, but residential versus like a commercial property, or you allowed to have a tall fence on a commercial property?
So,
I don't know, that's the only thought I would have, if you had like an industrial lot and you wanted to put an 8-foot fence, would that be allowed? Based on the ordinances, I.
Maybe about garbage.
And then if you look further, item S, it says each item not listed above shall be a fee of $75. That would take care of it if that's the case, I think. That's what's intended in that verbiage.
Apparently, there are other things that our construction officials identified could not be, might not be included in one of the catch-all.
So that catch-all would cover a fence greater than 6 feet. So,
If somebody knew to apply it, right? I can't debate this with you, I don't know.
yeah, no, I'm just pointing at it.
Construction. All right, I think we table it until we do the follow-up on it. I don't want to strike it without knowing if there's any significance to it. Everyone okay if I make that motion? Any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the introduction of 2025-36 until we specifically can understand section 160-3 B 1 O. Is there a second?
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay. We finally are out of the introductions, and we do have an ordinance to adopt. It is the off-street parking and driveway and loading requirements of Chapter 450 zoning of the borough's revised general ordinances to prohibit front yard fences. And before I open it up to the public, are there any council comments or questions?
Well, speaking of grandfathering, there are some front yard fences out there, so presumably they would just stay until one of those triggers, like selling the house, looking for CO, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Not my yard.
And nothing prevents anybody to come and get a zoning variance to permit them to get a front yard fence. They have to demonstrate a need.
And the land use board did review this ordinance introduction when the council first approved it. They agreed that this change is consistent with the master plan, and now it's back to us to vote whether or not we want to adopt. Okay, no other comments or questions from the council? I'd like to open it up to the public. Any comments or questions from the public? Yes, yes.
Would you have to make a motion?
Oh, I make a motion that we.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Ariana?
Ariana, 200 Evergreen. Was there ever a discussion about exempting corner lots from front yard fences?
For exempting corner lots?
Yeah,
I don't.
corner lots in terms of how front yard is the backyard?
I mean, I might not have personally been privy to it. I know the general discussions I was personally involved in were related to line of sight. So in a corner lot, the issues concerning line of sight would have applied, I think, for a corner lot from either side,
Mhm.
on the other side.
And if I could,
Please.
that was actually something that had come to the land use board that basically created this, identified this as a potential consideration because of driveways, and some having two-car driveways even on the side lot, of a corner, on that frontage with fences along there. Many of those, if you go out and look, would have to be defined how to provide that sight line. And not every location is similar in a corner lot where people have fences today, and the types of fences vary and could vary of unspecified. So the consideration was applied to both corner lot as well as a front yard that does not sit on the corner. So both are frontage of streets, so they're considered front lots. So that would apply on both sides of a corner lot. And so there was consideration and discussion around that, even at the land use board, that brought this to council and for us to consider. So there really is no, from a sightline difference, it applies similarly, and that is not, because of the driveways and having fences potentially blocking views of somebody on the sidewalk walking along and approaching a driveway. especially if you have another car parked adjacent to it and you have a limited length backing out where you can't see. And so yes, to your question, it was considered.
So, I personally have a disagreement with that, having a front yard fence and a driveway, because I think there's a lot of things that create sightline issues, including plantings and many, many, many things. So I think it's very unfair that I will now, if I sell my house, have to get a variance and pay money to get this fence approved. Is that what you're saying?
No, your fence would be there. You'd sell your house.
You just said if I go to sell it.
I didn't say anything about that.
Wouldn't the buyer be liable?
I think if you went to sell your house, you would just have to remove the fence. No?
But it's a major part of.
Can you explain? This gentleman has a fence on the side of her yard, which is on the corner. But if she sells it, she's not going to be able to tear the fence down and people buy it.
Okay, so that.
No, this has no effect, this just bans front yard fences in general. You would not, you would have to need a variance either way, because you have 2 front yards. Your issue with the corner lot is you have 2 front yard areas.
She has a fence right now.
I have a fence now, but you're saying,
No,
you're
I mean,
right,
to give yourself some peace of mind, you can go to the zoning officer that this is all assuming that your current fence has a variance, is approved for 2 front yard areas. So assuming your fence is currently valid and has a variance, then you can go to the zoning officer, and it's within 1 year of the adoption of this ordinance, they give you a certificate of non-conforming structure, saying that this fence existed before it was banned by an ordinance.
but I didn't need to get a variance because it was permitted.
Yes, permitted.
So I don't.
Okay, so you can go to the zoning officer and show them your survey or whatever you have, or a picture of your property, and they can give you a certificate of non-conforming structure. If this ordinance affects that, you would be grandfathered.
But, so you're saying I do need to get a variance?
No.
So I don't need to do anything?
You know what you're doing. Well.
But will the buyer, if I sell my house, need to do something?
So, hypothetically, you need not do anything, okay? Because you have a permitted fence that was on the property permitted before any ordinance was passed. However, if you were adversely affected by the adoption of this ordinance, you can go to the zoning officer. The zoning officer will give you a certificate of non-conforming structure. It means, it's basically the zoning officer saying, I acknowledge that you have this fence before the ordinance was passed, and therefore it's grandfathered. And they just give it to you. It's not a crazy application or anything like that. It's in the municipal land use law. If you wait more than a year, then only the board can give it to you.
But you're saying if I am adversely affected, I'm trying to understand.
I don't have your survey, I'm not your lawyer, I have no idea, I've never been to your property.
So I understand. Call me tomorrow, we'll take care of it. You're totally correct.
Yeah,
But it's
you're
not
now-
just me,
you're-
I'm
whoever buys
speaking
your
for
house is
many,
on the
many
property.
people
I
in
think-
this town
I think all
have a
she's-
front yard fence.
I think all anyone's saying is that I have a conforming property right now.
Right.
I sell my house. Based on this ordinance, is that for me to be able to get a certificate, or the buyer to get a certificate of occupancy, do they have to bring the fence into conformance and take the fence down in order to get a
No.
CO? And the answer is no.
That's not the way zoning works.
But will I have to get a variance?
No, you never need a variance if you had something that was permitted before an ordinance was passed. The question is how you prove to the person who's buying your house that I have the permit, like say it was permitted, so did you have to get a variance for this fence?
No.
Right, so you have no paper that says this fence is okay. I'm telling you that whenever the governing body adopts an ordinance that might make something on your property non-conforming, the zoning officer will just give you a piece of paper that you can stick in your file for when you go to sell your house, that the zoning officer recognizes that my fence was permitted before the ordinance and after. If you had a variance, it's easy because you just show the variance,
Yeah.
and the variance has the date on it, and no ordinance after that matters. But in your specific situation where it was permitted, and I was being active with academics, because I have no, I'm sorry to catch on to what your issue is. Because you have no piece of paper, I understand your concern. We can give you that piece of paper. It doesn't cost anything, and it's part of the municipal land use law, so long as you, it looks like we're gonna do it tomorrow.
But I'm just saying, I'm speaking for many, many people in town, so.
You should tell anyone who has it that they can do this.
That's not my job. That's your job.
You have a
Right,
permit.
well, but at the same time, this ordinance will be published in multiple newspapers, it's been noticed here
Okay.
tonight, there's 2 public hearings, and so the public, for all intents and purposes.
But you're basically saying you have a year to get this piece of paper.
From the zoning law, you can get that piece of paper anytime if you
Anytime.
can prove it.
Okay.
But the zoning law, the easy one, where you don't have to go before the board, is within 1 year of the adoption of the ordinance, the zoning officer will just give it to you. But if you wait after that time,
Then you do have to go before.
then you have to go before the board for a certificate of nonconformity.
Greg, I have a question. When Ariana got her fence, she went and got a permit to get the fence. Would
Yeah.
the permit serve as proof that it was pre-existing? And
If she had to submit a survey, that would probably work, yeah.
Do you keep those on record?
What year did you get your fence? Has it been that long? I mean, I think everything's computerized these days, right?
I don't know.
You're totally fine.
Okay, I'm not worried, I'm just, it is
Yeah.
a change that, I think it's a big impact, and I think I disagree with it, as you all know, but I just want to see what the impacts are.
There should be no impact on you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a comment? I didn't want to take any of Ms. Bucco's time. We just had a discussion about an ordinance about planting strips and concrete and curb and whatever, and I heard we're getting rid of grandfathering, we're getting rid of grandfathering. I just heard the word grandfathering used about 5 times in this discussion just now. And the solution for Ms. Bucco seems completely different than the solution that was just suggested for people with this concrete path across the landing strip and a curb cut. So, and then I suggested, well, your survey should show it, and you said that's not a workable thing, and then you just said, hey, just take out your survey and show that you have a fence. So I'm really confused, and Greg, if you're getting any of this.
This is different than.
I am, but I have to tell you, it's very difficult to solve everyone's zoning issues at a meeting. Zoning is extremely particularized to a property, so without.
But I'm trying to understand broad categories of, we just changed this law, or in the process, we said we want to get rid of grandfathering, we introduced it, sorry to pass it. And, you know, this seems completely different. I'm not really clear on understanding.
Because the planning strip is in the right of way, and Mr. Ariana, Ms. Bucco's talking about her property, which is only subject to zoning and not our other expansive jurisdiction. And the change is that you're requiring everyone to put the planning strip basically back to grass everywhere in town, and that's pretty much the decision. That is very different than what was previously allowed in the last ordinance, according to what taken, Mr. Redmond. But that's the main distinction, it's talking about the right of way versus, forgive me, I never pronounced your name, it's Ariana's property.
Is it accurate to say, like zoning doesn't affect things in the right of way, like, or zoning is?
Yeah, it's not your property, it's only by the street.
In the right of way, yeah, I mean, it's subject to municipal jurisdiction and not land use.
Okay, that's a great distinction. Thank you.
Any-
Crazy with the grandfather and
Any other public comments or questions? Mr. White?
Thomas J. Cohen, 612 Third Avenue. There's a very good point made by Councilwoman DeNoble. I mean, if people got permits for then $45, they would have that permit that showed you your fence was legal. So no one's gonna make you take the fence down unless you didn't get the permit. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, fence companies they just shoot in here like cowboys and put a fence up. That's the problem. I want to compliment the council, and the land use board did approve it, to your point, Mayor, is that, you know, fences are supposed to make good neighbors, but some fences don't. The ordinance, previous ordinance was blank on what type of fences. Not every fence is a Hollywood white picket fence. You could have a blackboard and batten fence. You could have a galvanized chain link fence. If you think about the vista from west to east, if people put galvanized chain link fence up, that would break your whole line of view. So this is really protecting something, and to Councilman Nowicki's point, it came up at a land use board meeting. People didn't really understand that you could have the fence. Avon has the same ordinance, Spring Lake has the same ordinance. Otherwise, our ordinance is very liberal when it comes to side yards and rear yards where you can have 6 feet. So I think this ordinance is very good. And I did walk by Ms. Bucco's property, and it really almost appears that she would, I mean, again, I didn't go on the property, just there's an elevation differential to where it is. So code may require a railing there anyway. So it's a little bit of a different situation as opposed to just having a fence right on the front property line. It is substantially set back, but there really should be no issue with it. But thanks very much for passing this ordinance and thinking forward on it.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Yes.
Stanley Machos from 209 Third. And I just wanted to just make not just to talk about not just the litigation that was happening here that was settled, but I guess, I don't know, it seems like an ongoing issue with many litigations and settlements. And I just wanted to make a couple comments.
Okay, we're talking about the fence right now?
Oh, it's only about
Yeah,
fences.
yeah.
Okay, so later on I could talk about it?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Good to see you, Annie.
I was intrigued.
You have
Okay,
to
any
stay on
other
point here.
comments or questions in the room? Any comments or questions on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, I will make a motion to close public comment and return to the agenda.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the adoption of ordinance 2025-27.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. We have 3 consent agenda resolutions. Does anyone want to discuss any of those independently? Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda resolutions 2025-305 through -307.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay, moving to individual resolutions, 2025-308 is authorizing the municipal clerk's office and QPA to advertise for requests for proposals for professional appointments for calendar year 2026.
Second.
Any comments? Well, I should have asked. Any
I think
comments?
we're good.
I have a comment. We go through this process every year. I would like to suggest that we just have people do this electronically and not have to come here physically, drop off like in the paper this big. But I want to defer to our clerk to say, is there a compelling reason that people should have to come and drop off?
They don't.
They
The
don't.
QPA is gonna be doing it, and it's electronic this year.
Our QPA is taking the whole thing.
I can't promise you it's gonna stay that way, but this year, that's how we're doing it.
Our QPA is gonna fill out the forms to the comparison sheets.
Get our money's worth in that.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? I'll make a motion that we approve individual resolution 2025-308.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Individual resolution 2025-309, appointing James Wishbow as a part-time building inspector and building subcode official for a 4-year term. Comments or questions? Make a motion that we approve 2025-309.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. 2025-310, approval to submit an award extension request for LA 2024 MA Bradley Beach Borough, 5th Avenue improvements, 13 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Comments or questions?
I'll just comment on this. This is the, we have a grant from New Jersey DOT to resurface Fifth Avenue from Ocean Avenue to Madison. And because the sewer project replacement isn't ready yet in time, we actually submitted that to DEP to qualify underneath our loan forgiveness program for the sewers. We're not going to be able to get that construction of the sewers done in time. And so we're delaying the paving until the spring so we can get the sewer put in before we pave. We don't want to pave and then come back and cut it up and put the sewer in. So we're asking them to extend this grant to the springtime so we don't have to try to pave in the winter months. And this is a DOT, it should not be an issue, so they should be accepted to us.
Any other comments, questions? Make a motion to approve 2025-310.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. 2025-311, authorizing a competitive contracting process for the hiring of a vendor for credit card payment processing. Comments or questions?
Didn't we typically do a competitive process? Is this an annual?
Matt, should I turn this over to you?
Sure, we've never taken credit cards.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Oh, so this is for like
This
construction
is to
fees?
start to move the borough to becoming cashless, both at the beachfront and also here at Borough.
Moving us into the 20th century. And I said 20th for a reason.
And not included? Just credit cards?
One step at a time.
Okay, so the 20th century.
That's what I said, 20th.
That's
So
great.
is there a variation with credit card fees, or is that a pretty standard amount?
It's a standard amount, I think it's 3.5%. You're right, there's some charge a little more. Some
So
charge
when we go
less,
through
but
that process,
it
is that
goes-
in?
It's included with the vendor.
I was gonna say, isn't the vendor, isn't that why we're shopping for a vendor then?
So whether you use American Express or Visa, Discover, Diners Club, the vendor is what charges us. And then
So-
in turn, we would charge the customer that.
And if someone wants to submit a check, they don't, they have to pay a fee, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because I know there's still an issue with the electronic payment for the beachfront, and for, what is the company that we use for?
What, mobile?
Community Pass. It still sort of includes a fee associated with submitting a check. And every year I challenge that as a resident.
Well, Community Pass is different than, that's a vendor that we hire. In this case, it would be the vendor that's used to process the checks. I don't know who Community Pass uses to process their checks. I don't know why they charge an additional fee. My guess is that's just the service that they charge us.
So Matt, there's no fee to the borough, it's only a pass-through fee when
The
you do a
fee is
transaction.
passed on to
Transaction.
the, correct. Much like you go to a restaurant, use a credit card, typically you're gonna charge you 3.5%.
Any other comments or questions?
And I'll also tell you, we had a very good summer, and there were some weekends when we were bringing $70,000+ literally singles, fives, quarters from the beachfront to Borough Hall. We got counted at the beachfront, brought to Borough Hall, got counted here, given to the police had to go to the bank to deposit it, got counted there, and it just takes a lot of manpower. This will simplify all that, and it also makes any chief operating officer, any CFO, much happier when there's less cash moving around.
Yeah, I know you just described that as a liability, but that's actually the good news. $7,000 came back here. That's what it is. It's good news. Okay, it's good.
Okay, any other comments or questions? I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-311, authorizing the competitive contracting process for credit card vendor.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Guptoni?
Yes. Okay, this next item, individual resolution 2025-312. There's an opportunity, but we don't know how real the opportunity is, that there's an entity who believes they can bring us grant funding. We, the borough would pay nothing to enhance the living shoreline in Silver Lake. However, there's also wording in there that talks about, salt marsh. Salt marshes. And so we didn't have time to get back to that, the person suggesting that they could secure the grant funding for us, to find out whether or not this came up on Friday, and we tried to reach them over the last couple of days. So we don't know if this person will be able to secure grant funding for us. They can secure grant funding, we just don't know if the marsh category fits Silver Lake. So what we're asking us to do here is to approve having this vendor, work with us to figure out whether or not they can secure grant funding for the living shoreline. So
Weren't we already advised by one of our engineers that we actually don't qualify?
I was advised by Mr. Nowicki, and I also reached out to Captain Al Majeski. They both thought we did not.
Actually, we did, I went back and double checked, and there was actually a meeting with Suburban, with DEP, and it was the same grant, because I was on that call.
Okay.
And it does not apply, we actually came back, DEP came back and confirmed that because this is blue energy, you need to have a salt marsh. We argued that at one time Silver Lake was a salt marsh. We showed them and walked through it all, and they said, yeah, but it's no longer connected to the ocean because the pipe is not backflow into the lake from the tide. So it does not qualify, and even the type of vegetation is not a salt marsh vegetation, it's fresh water, and therefore they said no, and confirmed, and Suburban is going to go back and verify that it does not apply. So we can.
So that makes it
scratch
much
this.
clearer. And so I will make a motion that we withdraw individual resolution 2025-312.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. 2025-313, approval of sewer overpayment refund for 117 Park Place Avenue in the amount of $1,553.50. Comments or questions?
Second.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second. Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. 2025-314, approval of another sewer overpayment refund for 803 Ocean Avenue, number 7, in the amount of $119.50. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes.
So these periodically pop up on the agenda. Why is it that we get these overpayments?
Well, if you read the one for the one before, they have a two-family home, they turned it into a one-family home, and they never
changed. Okay, so this is
forgot
because
they were negative two.
It's not a problem with the system of our payments.
Oh, no.
No.
Just
The ones we'd have a lot more of them.
And the next one is that they pay ahead for the quarter, you're paying sort of in advance, and if your home sells in the middle of that quarter, you're kind of over refund.
But that usually comes back from the buyer.
So, let's see. We'll give them a refund and collect it from the new buyer, I guess. Too late, we've already approved it.
Yeah.
2025-315, authorizing the award of proposal for professional engineering services with CME Associates for the Recreation Center Improvements Project. Comments or questions?
I don't know, I think we need to have a workshop on this one first.
I think that's got some really good pictures.
Is this for the $100,000 that we've been awarded for
No,
recreation?
no, this is for the existing project, we just have to authorize the main. Not those. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve 2025-315.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. 2025-316, authorizing CME Associates to perform additional general engineering services for an amount not to exceed $20,000. Comments or questions?
I had asked the question, will we get an accounting of how this money is spent? Oh, you're 20,000, we will, right?
Yeah, yes, this is just so that we can continue to have them do work for us, you know, and, if we don't authorize it, we have to get specific invoices from them to authorize it, so this is giving them the latitude to move forward and we'll authorize on the back. We'll review it back. Any other comments, questions? I make a motion that we approve 2025-316.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. 2025-317, authorizing an award of a contract for professional engineering services with Suburban Consulting Engineers, Inc., SCE, for the borough's sanitary sewer infrastructure replacement program. Councilman Nowicki, I think this does warrant some greater explanation.
Okay, so we've talked about this, in previous meetings, but what this, so we had received a $2 million grant from New Jersey DEP to finish the design of replacement of the rest of the sewer system for the rest of the borough. Currently, we've replaced up to 4th Avenue. 5th Avenue is under construction today, and we have to finish the whole north end of town, as well as Main Street and the rest of Ocean Avenue. And so we estimated that that was approximately, within a $2 million grant. DEP awarded that grant to us for $2 million to complete the design. So this is authorizing the Suburban, who applied for the grant for us, to about $1.8 million worth of work to finish the remaining portion of design. What we're also doing is that CME had worked on that piece of Fifth Avenue. And if you recall several meetings ago, we had authorized CME to do the Ocean Park design from Ocean Avenue to Madison, about 3 blocks, because of all the emergency repair we were doing out there. It was failing. We had to keep cleaning it out and whatnot. We're taking those costs that CME did, and we're also applying that to the grant. And we will get reimbursed for those costs from the grant. So we'll max out the $2 million grant to pay for all the design stuff that CME had just recently done for Fifth Avenue, from Ocean to Madison that they're working on, as well as Ocean Park from Ocean Avenue to Madison. So we'll get reimbursed. So that will no longer come out of the sewer fund. We'll get DEP to pay for that design, as well as $1.85 million to complete the design of the entire rest of the system. In addition to that, we qualified and were granted to the Water Infrastructure Bank for the construction. We can actually secure funding loans for up to $20 million to finish the design of the construction of all of the rest of the sewers. Within that, the financing rate on that is at 0% interest for 75% of the construction cost. Okay, and then it's like 3.5% bond rates for 25% of the construction, minimizing the burden to the residents of Bradley and their sewer costs. In addition to that lower cost, we also have qualified because of our average income. Up through July 1st of this year, we qualified for this program. So looking back over the last decade, we had qualified for this, but it never was used. We are entitled to $2 million per year of principal loan forgiveness for construction. And the DEP has agreed to give us $2 million of principal forgiveness for our first project, which will be the completion of Fifth Avenue and Ocean Park that CME is currently doing. So when you think about each avenue, it's about $2 million just for the sewer work for each avenue. And so we are now getting $2 million to pay for those completions, and we qualify first come, first serve. So we have to keep going. For the next 2 fiscal years, at $2 million of loan forgiveness, principal forgiveness from the Water Infrastructure Bank. And I want to thank Councilwoman Greenblatt. She really identified this back when she went to the League of Municipalities last year, before I came on site. And then they said, Paul, what do you think about this stuff? And I was like, let's get into it. And so, it's been a real team effort. We've actually secured some fantastic funding to complete the design and continue the construction of the sewer system. We are also, in order to, something that was being done and is still being done and will continue to be done with this, is to continue to get money from DOT, New Jersey Department of Transportation. So after the sewers are replaced, that we use grant money to do the paving, so that we don't use the borrowing, we use grant money for the pavement work. Again, minimizing the cost of this entire infrastructure for the sewer replacement. And I'll just comment, the other piece of this whole equation, and we have gentlemen here that are working on this, we are doing a study to validate what is our best path forward, whether we continue to own the system and continue to do it ourselves, or do we sell that system? And so from a fiscal responsibility standpoint, with all that this is happening, we really need to get a look at all this. What is the most economical way forward, so that we can make sure that we are doing the right things for the residents and getting the best buy for the dollar, whether we continue to own the system or privatize it, considering the funding of these grants that we're able to get. We'll put all that together in a financial model, and that work is currently being done. So we're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, make sure we're making the right decisions. But in the meantime, we are moving forward with this grant money and continuing to fix the lines that are failing today. So that's my sewer speech.
That was a very powerful sewer speech. Speaking as a person who's been on the council for 5 years and came in just after we started phase 1 of the sewers, to the best of my knowledge, the borough has never received grant funding to do the actual construction work. We have many times received Department of Transportation funding to do the paving subsequently, but the work that the Councilwoman Greenblatt and Councilman Nowicki have done to secure grant funding, as you just heard from Councilman Nowicki, that should approach $6 million of 100% grant funding, no matches, is astronomical success in my opinion. So anyone who's concerned about taxpayer taxes going up, from a sewer standpoint, we've got great news that so far sewers, we're getting an awful lot done at no cost to the taxpayers. So thank you both.
Thank you.
That said, I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-317, authorizing the award of a contract for Suburban Consulting.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. Okay, item 2025-318 is the bill list for October 7th, 2025. Any comments or questions about the bill list?
You answered my questions, thank you.
No? Okay. I will make a motion we approve 2025-318, the October 7th bill list.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. We have a final individual resolution. This normally would have appeared on the bill list. It missed the bill list deadline, so we've set up a separate independent resolution authorizing the payment of the 2025 annual budget to the Bradley Beach First Aid Department in the amount of $55,000. Comments or questions?
I would like to make a comment. I like that this is separate because, when you think about for yourself, what's the most valuable thing you have? It's your time, and yeah, we're paying for this stuff. We're paying for the Band-Aids and the stretcher if you need one of those or whatever, but the folks at the First Aid Department, they're giving their time, and that is super valuable. So the least we can do is pay for all the stuff, pay for all the Band-Aids. That's it.
Very good. No other comments or questions? I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-319, authorizing the 2025 annual budget payment to the First Aid Department.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. Item 13 on the agenda, announcements. There are none. Item 14A, the administrative report. Mr. Doherty.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to update the council on some of the construction projects that are ongoing in town. First one on Fifth Avenue, the sanitary sewer main is completed from Madison Avenue to Hammond Avenue. The contractor is planning on completing the sewer main from Hammond to Main Street by the end of this week. After completion of the sewer main, the contractor is anticipating approximately 2 weeks to complete all the sewer service laterals to individual homes. The sewer should be completed in 3 to 4 weeks, followed by concrete work, sidewalks, and paving. Contractor, CME, our police department, and elementary school have been communicating regarding traffic control near the elementary school. Residents on the 600 block of Fifth Avenue have been able to access their homes via assistance from the police traffic safety unit. So thank you for our PD. Next project we have is the rec center. The contractor has completed all drainage improvements and prepared the playground area for installation of the playground by the separate state contractor. The playground installation is anticipated to begin this week. The contractor has removed all fence fabric and milled both the tennis and basketball courts. Court paving will be completed following playground installation. The project completion is expected to be in November. Next one is the Sylvan Lake flume replacement. The wooden box flume replacement has begun on the beach, and the contractor is removing and stockpiling jetty rocks for future use, some of which weigh several tons. Finally, the concession building on the promenade, the construction project will be advertised for bid at the end of this week, and work is anticipated to begin this winter and will continue into the spring. Any questions from the council on those 4 projects? No? Lastly, as the mayor and council know, we had a pretty successful bid to sell the lots at the old church. I wanted to give an update and also report to the public what our total differences between what was generated and the expenses over the last few years. So the total revenue generated at the auction was $4,875,000. The total expenses, including the purchase of the property at $1.3 million, the total expenses are $2,103,925.62. So the difference, the profit, as you would say, is $2,771,074.38. That's my report. Shane.
Mr. Doherty, for the record, residents, a couple of residents have asked that these costs include the debt service, that, you know, the interest we paid on monies we borrowed. The answer is no. I have not attempted to figure that out. It's probably under $100,000, but that, just for clarity, in case anyone in the room is wondering the same. So 2.7 million, maybe 2.6 million, it's still a pretty reasonable rate of return on a $2.1 million investment.
Yes, sir. And also, when you look at the expenses that we did include, I mean, we put everything in here from, again, the purchase of the property, the engineering services, Monmouth County Clerk filing for $8. So we tried to get any and every expense in here. You know, could we try to figure out what the interest was on the debt? At some point we can, but overall, I think the staff did a very good job putting together all the expenses.
Did you include the repair of Mr. Councilman Weber's letter?
It's in there.
It is in here. Yes, it was repaired at no cost to the borough.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Can I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
ask a question? So when do the properties close?
Good question.
November 17th.
November
So I should say no later than November 17th.
Okay.
So at this point, the major subdivision has been finalized, plats been filed. I have signed contracts with all 4 of the winning bidders, together with their additional deposits, which were due a week ago, on September 30th. All 4 have returned that. A couple of them already have attorneys, and we're asking for documents to basically have this private financing and for title insurance. But the outside date for the closings is November 17th, and every single winning bidder has followed every step of the process
Yep.
as of today. Yep. So,
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to item 14B on the agenda. Mayor and council reports. I'll start with Council President DeNovo.
Yay. Okay, so with the Board of Ed, they had a meeting in September, and they reported that they had an excellent school opening in September, and special recognition goes out to Mr. Tonzola, who managed a number of vendors this summer to have the renovations in the hallway near the nurse's office and PT room, as well as the new floor of the cafeteria. So the school looks wonderful, and our teachers went above and beyond setting up their classrooms during the summer to create a welcoming environment for our students. And they would also like to thank Phil and the custodial staff. And the preschool and kindergarten orientations were a great success. Pre-K also launched its dual language program this year, which has been met with a lot of enthusiasm. And they also celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month. And it was a fantastic kickoff celebration hosted by the PTA. The Bradley Beach Tourism had their meeting today, and they're almost done with their summer survey. Lots of kudos going their way. The fall series, the concert series is underway, and people are really enjoying it, and it brings a lot of life to the middle of the town. and people are bringing takeout. And also, the World Cup is next year, and they're looking to do a watch party on June 13th for the first USA match. And they're looking to hopefully have a block party, maybe in the park. They're making plans. They're also hashing out some ideas for that, as well as their Jazz Fest is going to be again this February 2026. Bradley Beach Shade Tree Commission had a meeting October 1st, and they had 4 applications, one at 205 Lake Terrace. They're gonna remove 1 tree and on their private property, and they're gonna replace it with 3 trees. 211 Park Place will be removing 2 trees, and that is their planting strip, and they'll be replacing it with 3 trees. And 115 3rd Avenue is removing 1 dead tree. And also 300 4th wants to remove a tree, but it is still in the planting strip, and it seems like it's okay. They're gonna have Bill Brash analyze that tree. The grant program that they recently had was for $40,000, and they were hoping to plant in the fall. Unfortunately, a lot of their selections do better when they're planted in the spring. So the state has advised us that we'll do the planting in the spring. We can look forward to 75 new trees coming our way to Bradley Beach. And they're also going to be planting some tulips in the Pollinator Point Garden, which is on 2nd Avenue. And their account is $16,500. That completes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Nowicki.
Thank you, Mayor. First, the police activity. September 19th, a 34-year-old Wall Township man was arrested and charged with burglary, theft, and criminal attempt to commit burglary as a result of an investigation by Detective Christopher Wilson. On September 9th, the male subject entered a parked unlocked motor vehicle and removed a cell phone belonging to the owner. Sergeant William Major and Patrolman Daniel Crow assisted with the investigation. On September 26th, 2025, a 30-year-old male subject was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm. Certain persons not to possess a weapon, resisting arrest, hindering apprehension, and obstructing the administration of law. The subject was stopped for a motor vehicle violation while he was operating an electric scooter by Patrolman Daniel Crow. Once stopped, the subject fled from officers on the electric scooter and on foot. He was apprehended a short time later. After he was placed in custody, officers found that he was in possession of a firearm and live rounds which he discarded while he was fleeing from the officers. Patrolman Daniel Crow, Patrolman Andrew Redmond, and Patrolman Ian Ambrose handled the arrest. Officers also investigated 8 motor vehicles accidents and responded to several calls for service. On another note, the Bradley Beach Police Department will be participating in the Operation Take Back, which is sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Administration. We will be collecting any unused prescriptions and non-prescription medications on Saturday, October 25th, between the hours of 10 and 2 at the police department. Please remove any personal information from the prescription bottles, and we will not be taking any syringes or any type of needles. On the first aid front, for the operational period ending October 7th, the squad responded to 18 day calls, 7 night calls, for a total of 25 calls. 21 were for medical, 4 for fire calls, 1 motor vehicle accident. The squad provided medical overwatch for the Kaleidoscope of Hope Walk and the Walk to End Alzheimer's. The squad conducted 1 drill for the safety and education of the membership. The squad requested no mutual aid for the operational period. Total calls for the month of September, 54, and events were 2. The squad fulfilled 100% of their assignments for this operational period. We are still looking for volunteers for the first aid squad. We will offer free training for qualified individuals. And anybody looking to volunteer, applications can be found on the borough's website. Fire department. For the month ending September 30th, the fire department responded to 11 day calls, 6 night calls, for a total of 17 calls. 1 was a working fire, 11 were fire alarm activations, 2 were mutual aid assists into Asbury Park, 2 were natural gas leaks, and 1 smoke condition. The department conducted trainings on ladder operations and vehicle entrapment. The department also participated in a standby for fireworks in Avon. There were no requests for mutual aid from other fire departments. The department fulfilled 100% of our assignments for this operational period. I'm happy to report that the department inducted one new firefighter to our ranks. And they too are also looking for volunteers. So you can get the information off the website. And then one more thing I just want to share is that this week is the Fire Awareness Week. An annual Fire Safety Day is on October 9th, and the elementary school will be hosting their annual fire safety in partnership with the Bradley Beach Fire Department. The event is an important part of our Fire Prevention Week, giving our students a chance to learn about fire safety in a hands-on and engaging way. Activities included gear station, exploring the protective equipment that the firefighters wear, a water can station, learning how fire extinguishers and water cans can be used, and also a fire truck display, touring the fire truck and learning about its equipment. The 8th graders will be also taking part in a special cadet program led by the fire department. So again, we encourage everybody to continue to talk and discuss about fire safety. It's pretty critical. So take safety moments with your family and just make sure everybody's aware of fire safety in your homes. The last thing to report is Sylvan Lake, and their monthly meeting will be next Wednesday, 7 o'clock here in this room. All are invited, so please come and attend to give any updates if you'd be interested in on Sylvan Lake.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Greenblatt.
Thanks. The Arts Council met Monday, September 15th. The Jewish holiday of Sukkot, an autumn harvest festival, began last night and runs through October 13th. In celebration, the Arts Council is partnering with our local synagogue, Agudat Achim, and will provide music and entertainment in the sukkah when Arts Council member Gwen Rosenblatt will be performing on flute and piano. Members of the community are invited to attend at 309 5th Avenue from noon to 3 on October 13th. Refreshments will be served. Mark your calendars now for the Arts Council's first annual full-day arts festival, Saturday, June 27, 2026, for a celebration of the arts through hands-on participation and community engagement. The next Arts Council meeting is scheduled for Monday, October 20th, 11 a.m. at the Biazzi Center. The public is welcome. The Rec Board has not met since our last council meeting. Some continuing programs: Mahjong Open Play runs every Friday, 1 to 3 at the Biazzi Center. The Senior Club meets up Wednesday, October 22nd at noon. Senior Game Time Tuesdays is back, the first and third Tuesday of each month. BYOG, bring your own game, and join friends at the Biazzi Center for fun and community fellowship. Family Game Night, October 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. Takes place at the Neptune City Community Center. This is a shared community event and open to Bradley Beach residents. Don't miss out October 24th for a ghoulish gathering at 4 p.m. on the Evergreen Avenue Beach. All ages welcome to this festive Halloween costume contest with music, snacks, and pumpkin chucking. This event was modified because of the recreation construction, so the pumpkin chucking will take place on the beach. See the updated flyer on the rec website. Recreation will be hosting its 4th annual Trunk or Treat on October 26th in the municipal parking lot from 1 to 3 p.m. Sign-ups are currently open. Follow the link on the recreation page of the borough website to participate as a decorated trunk handing out candy. Construction continues at the rec site as it refurbishes its playground and facility courts, as well as drainage repair and repaving. The work will continue through the fall with limited public access to the facility. The Recreation Committee's next meeting will be moved to Monday, October 20th at 6:30 p.m. due to the Columbus Day holiday. Fletcher Lake Commission has also not met since our last council meeting. A Fletcher Lake cleanup will take place Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. Coffee and bagels will be on hand for all those who come to participate. Please join this collaborative multi-community event with Ocean Grove. The next commission meeting will be on October 9th at 6 p.m. in this council chamber. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Weber.
Please. All right. This was part of the consent agenda, so I feel like we missed saying this people's names, but congratulations to the probationary firefighter Ashley Navarin, and then also to the special officers, the police officers, the special officers, Brendan Cavendish, Andrew Lewis, Brian McGee, Anthony Ruggiero. We probably should think about that before we consent agenda them and then they don't get their names. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Heather Sauer, who's no longer in the room, but doing a great job making the school sustainable. Let's see, a couple beach-related things. The flume, we know that the Sylvan Lake flume stuff is happening, but it was waiting a long time for this, a very long time. It was very nice on Saturday to see the big construction, like they're doing it. They're doing it on Saturday. I was like very happy about that. Also, I noticed the staging area. They're putting all this equipment on the beach, kind of in that spot where there's like dunes on 3 sides, just a little bit south of Evergreen. But the very first thing they did was fill the gap in the dunes between the ocean, because probably each one of those pieces of equipment is a few $100,000, if not $500,000, and you got a couple of them in there. And what do you want to do? You want to protect it, so you build in the gaps in the dunes. I just see this. This is like a great idea. I would love to leave it. I think that would be a great idea, but we can talk about that. Maybe they give us a discount if they don't have to undo all that sand piling up that they did. Let's see. The Environmental Commission did not meet. We had a scheduling conflict. We've been trying to make that happen next Monday. But speaking of environmental stuff, the beach sweeps are on October 10th. You know the drill. Go to the pavilion at 5th Ave, and from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, we'll be picking up stuff off the beach. Clean Ocean Action has you catalog it, so you just mark down, and because we are going to have to skip this stuff soon, we're going to take note of how many plastic utensils and other things like that we're picking up off our beach. So please participate in that. You have heard me say recently that our ordinance has you put your lid on your trash can and your recycling can. That's our ordinance. So there are 2 good reasons that you should do that. One is about a week from now, it's going to get really windy. There's going to be a massive wind event, so don't put your can out without a lid. But the other reason you should do it is because our code enforcement officer took it upon himself to go out before trash collection at 5 o'clock in the morning and look for people that don't have their lids, and just let them know that this is, we like you to have your lid on. It helps us keep the town clean, and that's what we want. So, a couple of other things. Glad you mentioned the drug take back. That's on my list because that's environmental, but it's a police thing, so thank you. And the town always gets sustainable Jersey points for the fact that we do the drug take back thing. It shouldn't be dumped down the toilet, bad for the water, so bring them to the police station. And something happened, about almost a month ago at this point. It's kind of under the radar for a good reason. We had the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. They have a mobile unit, so you don't have to go to the MVC to get your real ID or to get your license renewed or whatever. That came here, and we had 60 people from town, roughly 60 people, get a real ID or whatever services they need from MVC. I will tell you, kind of kept it under the radar because, look, if you advertise, you can either fill all the spots yourself with people in town, or else you have to open it up to the public and anybody can come from anywhere. So we felt really confident we could have 60 people from town, and we did that. I think, Mr. Administrator, we did so great. They're coming back. They're coming back. Okay, so we are going to do this again. It's just a great service for the town. I had to go get a real ID, and I went to the mobile unit in Tom's River because I needed it quickly. I was getting on a plane, and I was like, how do we bring this thing to town? So we made it happen. That was very instrumental, and it was a good thing. So coming again in November, maybe? Yeah. Okay.
17.
All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I hit all my major points. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. And in case anyone didn't hear it, it is November 17th. Correct, Matt? That's the next date for that mobile unit. And every other month or so, they're willing to come back as soon as we have people interested. So hopefully we'll continue to do this.
And you can also, aside from real ID, you can bring back the license plates, duplicate registrations, anything you would do at a regular motor vehicle commission. You don't need an appointment for that. But what Councilman Weber was pointing out, which is the real value, is getting a real idea.
And there are limited spaces, so it wasn't part of my report, but since Councilman Weber brought it up, anyone interested in getting a real ID should call Borough Hall, reserve a time slot. I think total there's 60 time slots, give or take.
Yep.
So, okay. For my report, first and foremost, near and dear to my heart is the mayor's office. I will be permanently leaving that little room over there. My last day will be Wednesday. Thursday, I'll be sitting up front with everybody else. As that area will be annexed to the court, because as I think I've mentioned in past meetings, we are taking on Neptune City's court. They will pay Bradley Beach $80,000 to take on their court. And other than maybe $1,000 of expenses, we're going to knock a hole in the far wall of the mayor's office to connect it into the court, but a hole only, so we're not doing any massive construction. That should take place soon, not over the weekend. We will not pay, do not need to pay overtime, so it should be a very cost-effective transition. I am a member of the library board, and the library has just a slew of activities every month. I'm not going to read the whole list, but understand that they have programs for little kids, Lego type programs, board game type programs for teenagers, focused on career building, for adults, for one coming up this month in October is for entrepreneurs, adults who want to start businesses. Go to the Bradley Beach Library website. It's actually bradleybeachlibrary.org, and you'll be amazed at the amount of activities occurring every month, but most currently in the month of October. We've got some activity going on with the county director, Tom Arnone, and the county engineer, Joe Attore, is meeting with us, and not only myself, but Mayor McGreevy from Neptune City, to discuss two things. One is the intersection at 4th Avenue and Memorial Drive, a massive traffic concern, safety concern. As you're probably aware, the county is looking at a 3-year plan that they should be able to take action as a result of their study in 2028 to do some traffic calming on Memorial Drive. We don't want to wait until 2028 because we've had a handful of really bad accidents there. And again, the engineer and director are willing to meet with us. So we're going to meet with them on October 23rd, and with our police chief and Neptune City's police chief to go through what we might be able to do to improve traffic safety at that very dangerous intersection. We're also going to set up a time on a different date, but in the near future, to evaluate a watershed study being done by the county, but looking primarily at Neptune's watershed, which runs off into Sylvan Lake. We want to have a seat at that table. Councilman Nowicki and I should be able to, we've been told we will be invited to their next meeting, but it's very important we be a part of that because they're kind of narrowing their focus at the moment to fixing their watershed to make sure it flows properly without much focus yet on what it flows into, which is Bradley Beach. So we will be joining that discussion as we go forward. A couple things, well, one, business administrator mentioned this, but I think it bears repeating. On October 10th, we should be able to release bid requests for the sewer pump station next to the playground, you know, on Ocean. The plan is to convert that into restrooms and a small concession area, and we hope to have bidding, bids prepared beginning October 10th. Hopefully by the end of October, we'll have bids in place and we can award that work, and folks can, hopefully a contractor can get started before the end of the year. The goal, of course, would be to have the bathrooms up and running by Memorial Day of next year. One other thing I want to make sure people put on their calendar is Mayor's Wellness Walk. It's actually October 26th, so we will have one more council meeting. I'll just give you a little advance warning. October 26th at 9 a.m., Brindley Avenue, Mayor's Wellness Walk. Healthy dog, healthy you. And our own resident veterinarian, Dr. Kathleen Heaney, will lead that discussion. So that'll be fun. I'll probably mention that again in 2 weeks, but just put it on your calendar, October 26th. That concludes my report, and now we can move to public comments and questions. Any comments or questions? Yes, Nancy.
Yeah. The gazebo? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Bob McAllister, 412 Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Bob.
Okay. I just wanted to share some comments with respect to the borough's fair share housing plan. On behalf of myself, my wife, Jeff Curtis is here as well, and his wife supports these views. I'll go as quickly as I can. I know the hour is late. Bradley Beach is a great place to live if you can afford it. Unfortunately, unprecedented increases in property values in Bradley Beach and other shore towns mean that it has never been more difficult for moderate and low-income families whose annual incomes are less than $105,000 to find decent, affordable housing. This income level would include our teachers and police officers who cannot live in our town. The good news is that New Jersey state law requires that each municipality adopt a fair share plan, which details the affirmative measures it will undertake to achieve its fair share of low and moderate income housing. We're pleased that Bradley Beach for the first time has adopted a fair share housing plan. However, we believe that the plan is woefully inadequate to address the critical need for decent, affordable housing for our neighbors. Here's why. The plan agrees with the state's assessment that 64 affordable housing units in Bradley Beach are deficient and in need of rehabilitation due to overcrowding or a lack of adequate plumbing or kitchen facilities. This figure greatly exceeds the numbers of deficient units in comparable towns. The plan proposes to rehabilitate only 6 units per year over the next 10 years to be funded by the borough or through development fees collected in the town's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We believe that justice requires that Bradley Beach be more aggressive in eliminating unsafe, substandard housing for all of its residents. Landlords should be required to correct deficient rental units, and the timetable for rehabilitations should be accelerated. The plan also acknowledges that Bradley Beach's unfulfilled fair share obligation for the past 37 years was 95 additional affordable units. However, the borough's plan claims that the borough's current potential for development is only 13 affordable units, as there isn't sufficient available vacant land for any more, a small fraction of the 95 units required for the period 1987 to 2024. This number does not give sufficient weight to the over 1/2 acre parcel at 319 Lorraine Avenue that the borough sold on September 18th as 4 residential building lots with no provision for affordable units. If no part of the 319 Lorraine Avenue property was reserved for affordable units, why not contribute 20% of the $2.7 million profit that the town has realized to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund? That is to contribute 20% to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We also question the plan's claim that 15 existing units of private supportive housing partially satisfy the town's fair share obligation. This housing supports those battling addiction without regard to income, so it is not limited to individuals having moderate to low income. Finally, the borough's plan acknowledges that Bradley Beach will have an unmet need of 30 affordable housing units to be added in the next decade. To address this need, the plan proposes the adoption of an ordinance that would require that 15 to 20% of the units in new multifamily developments be affordable. Given the lack of meaningful progress in creating affordable housing in the past, We doubt that the unmet need will be satisfied without more proactive involvement on the part of town government. The measures proposed by the borough's plan are clearly inadequate to meet the need for safe, affordable housing in a town where property values are continuing to soar. As longtime residents of Bradley Beach, we believe that diversity is one of the great strengths of our community. When I went to the grammar school, almost all the teachers lived in town. If we value the unique character of our town, we encourage our elected officials to promote redevelopment that will make it possible for all of our neighbors to continue to live here. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Other comments? Questions? Mr. Curtis, you seem to want to follow up.
Yeah. Jeff Curtis,
Yes,
202 3rd Avenue. To follow up on what you've just heard, the town needs to know that the fair share housing is challenged. The plan is totally inadequate. Anyone who read the original purpose of the plan would have seen that Bradley Beach did not address half of what the questions were in the plan, which is a great disappointment. So here are just a couple of the things that are identified that Bradley Beach has failed at. The borough's plan states that Bradley Beach has an unmet need for 30 additional affordable housing units. That was up before the plan was submitted, and it's still not answered. The borough's plan supplies a vacant land adjustment, and the borough has an obligation to identify potential sites for redevelopment and a method to generate additional affordable housing units that will satisfy at least 25% of the unmet need. The plan's realistic development potential by identifying realistic sites that can be developed for affordable housing was not part of the plan. The plan did not address minimum amounts of family housing or housing for different income levels, of which there are a variety of income levels that are impossible addressing affordable housing. The borough's plan overstates the number of credits that can be applied based upon transitional housing units in the borough and provides no evidence that the units are affordable. Both 601 Ocean Avenue and 440 Newark Avenue, working with people who are dealing with people who are looking for housing, they are not Oxford houses anymore. To our understanding, there are no Oxford houses in Bradley Beach anymore. So one of them is owned by a private person who is using it as an investment strategy. The plan does not address how the borough's past obligation will be addressed, which Bob just talked about. The plan does not provide funding that can be applied to rehabilitation of the units and identify the person that's going to be responsible to implement the plan. We have a copy of fair share plans submitted to the judge, pretty extensive, and we're going to continue to work on it. We hope that Bradley Beach will become more open in the process. We obviously tried to sit and listen to what the planner was projecting when it happened. It was a terrible plan from our perspective, and as we use the word inadequate to what the plan was asking to be submitted in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Meadow.
Thank you for your patience, Ms. Meadow.
Thank you. Why did you throw me off? I began without a pen, that's how I didn't intend to speak. Nancy Meadows, Sport Condominiums. I availed myself probably for the first time ever with a freebie in Bradley Beach, which was the DMV van. It was lovely, and I got my ID, which I really didn't ever want because I have a passport. But I spent the $11. I figured the state needed it. However, I hope when the new van comes that it's handicap accessible. It was quite a challenge to navigate the stairs going up and down. Just a suggestion. Mr. Nowicki, I look at you as the recreation design czar. The playground equipment that currently exists, is that equipment going to be reused there?
I'm not that familiar with, I'm a sewer guy.
Well,
But I understand what you're asking. Matt, do you know what the disposition of the equipment that's there today?
'Cause what I'm
What they're
thinking-
doing with it? The old equipment? Yes, it's all thrown out.
Oh, so we didn't move it to somewhere where somebody could use it?
No.
That's the Bradley Beach way, so thank you
Well, it's
for
probably not to
answering.
today's standards.
No, it's not anything
Yeah.
close to today's standards.
Right.
No one should use that equipment.
No.
Okay, and I would like to take Ms. DeNoble, Mr. Weber, Mayor Gubitosi, down memory lane to a previous administration when the lockers went online and cashless. And as usual, powers that be ignored me, or actually finally listened to me when I said, you need to accommodate people who choose to pay for the locker and buy cash. And at that time, I also inquired if there would be any fees by doing a credit card policy online. And of course, I was told no, and then I paid by cash.
Not by any of us.
I said memory lane.
Right.
I did not mention a person's name, but you are correct. It was not any of the three of you. And then people who did pay by credit card got a fee added to their bill, which many people were annoyed about. Now, I've not looked lately, but regarding the discussion about going cashless, it is my understanding it is illegal to be cashless in the state of New Jersey. And if it's not illegal, I would say, adding to the three names I mentioned, and now putting in this Green Lab, you all ran on being inclusive. So, if you exclude people from doing business with our borough by using cash, you're excluding me, not including. I understand you don't want to count the money, you don't want this, you don't want that, but there are some of us, whether we're old like me who don't want to be bothered and don't want their credit cards out there, or are not able to obtain that kind of plastic and choose to pay by cash, you are excluding. So whether it's a legal issue, which Mr. Cannon can certainly figure out, or I won't even say more, I'll just say a hard issue, I'd ask you to reconsider that. And then, I just want to say if anybody has not looked at the CoStar from last week, okay, we've got the fold above the fold. Yes, I'm excited that monies is coming to Manasquan. But more importantly, read the article about it. Someone's child, I won't embarrass them here, who's below the fold. It's quite nice. I didn't mention a name. I'm really good about that. But yes, I'm Mr. Darty's daughter, who is, I think she's just very funny. There's a whole article about her and her career as an actress. So, that's a nice thing.
Thank you.
And I didn't even get the
Other
thanks.
comments or questions from the audience here? I know. So now we will go to.
Oh, no, Henry's here.
Oh, Henry, Mr.
Yeah.
Matos. I thought you were pointing at the TV.
Henry Machos, 209 Third. You know, there was the lawsuit that was settled, and I'm not specifically saying that one or any of them. I'm just very sad about all of the lawsuits over the many years. And the thing is that as defendants, you always are innocent or somewhat innocent, and then the plaintiff, he'll go to a lawyer, or she'll go, regardless, go to a lawyer, and pick a lawyer, and they say to the lawyer says, tell me about your case. And then she or he explains it, and they'll say, yeah, but this could take years. You might have to go for these dispositions, years and years. Then the lawyer looks, and he says, oh, it's the Borough of Bradley Beach. I'll take the case. They fold like a weak suit. You know what a weak suit is, don't you? That's what they do every time. So if you're innocent, go the course. Because you're building a reputation that will fold like a weak suit. Or maybe they have a big lawyer, and our lawyer isn't as big. I don't know what the situation is, but if you're innocent, let it run the course. Because I don't know where we get all the money. Where would you get the money to sell this thing? Do we sell another bond? Where do you get it? Just comes right out of the taxpayers' money?
Covered by insurance.
For what?
It's covered by insurance.
What is that?
So the borough has an insurance policy.
Oh, okay, so then every time I have an insurance policy and I have a lot of claims, then my insurance premiums go up or they drop.
Well, they can't be dropped as a municipality, as a member of the JIP, but the point is to claims history, because it's not an insurance premium.
That was all my point, is that, you know, if you as defendants are innocent, and I believe you are, then we should run the course and build that reputation that we won't be pushed around. Thank you.
Thank you. I see there is another hand, Mr. Cohen.
Sure, Thomas J. Cohen, and I do agree with the previous speaker that it would be nice to fight these and send a message that, you know, let's drag it out for 5 years and see what happens. Unfortunately, I realize JIF will just give you the money and say, good luck, we're only giving you this much, and if it goes over that, the taxpayers will pay. So it's an unfortunate situation that people work in. Also, towns that have the council manager form of government, Ocean Township and Howell Township, have recently had very similar lawsuits. So if we change the form of government, don't think these lawsuits are going away. So I just want to make that clear. Also, I'd like to address some of the comments. First of all, Mr. Nowicki, I want to just understand this full sewer design for $1.8 million. They're going to design the whole town, so we know when we go to bid what we're looking at. Is that what's going to
Yes,
happen?
they're gonna design all the remaining portions that have not been built yet.
Mhm.
So from, Lake Terrace to, Fifth Avenue, including Ocean and Main Street. So they're gonna do the survey, lay out the design, and then we're going to, the way it's laid out, we're gonna do 3 phases. So picking and choosing based on DPW's recommendation, which are the worst sections that need to get replaced first, so we can turn around and take care of those as March 7th.
So we're going to have a design dossier that we can just pick out pieces and say, we're going to bid this and we're going to bid that.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I do want to thank you, because I don't think residents, especially at the north end, really understand what was pitched by the last administration, where they wanted to do lining. And now, as tonight you hear, the laterals will be done, there'll be a clean out on the curb, and that's going to be the standard for every resident's going to get the same thing.
Correct. And that's when we, Fifth Avenue was set up to do that, aligning, and, back in January, we said, no, stop, let's replace them. And so that's what we're doing. We're replacing all of the sewers, they're 100 years old, they need to be replaced.
Sure, and in fairness, it should happen all over town exactly the same way. So we really dodged a bullet, and I want to
And
thank
if we can get $2 million of principal forgiveness based on paying for it, that's the right way to do it.
I would like to address some of the questions by a couple of the previous speakers. I wish these guys were here when Gary Engelstad was the mayor and Larry Fox was the mayor. And I stood up here alone at about 301 Main Street and said, hey, where's the affordable units? Everybody told me, oh, we're fine. And then the project at Autotech, I came to all the meetings, the extensions, oh, we don't have to supply it. I don't know where those guys were then. I have the emails from Fair Share Housing. Now Fair Share Housing's involved. You know why? Because there's a pool of money now. As per Mr. Doherty's report, there's a pool, and when there's a pool of money, people show up. Whether it be your private life, whether it be business life, whether it be municipal life. So here we go, the state agency's now gonna say, hey, Mayor, I've said all from the beginning, and I told one of the speakers, I'll be the first one to say, some of that money should go to affordable housing due to the mismanagement of the program by Mayor Engelstad and Mayor Fox by not collecting the fees that your administration now collects. So I don't know if it's 20%, I don't know if it's 10 or it's 15, it's really up to the council. But I do support that portion of what they said. I do disagree with a couple of the things when it comes to supportive housing. There is no financial ramification. It's the condition of the people that's there that qualifies them. okay, they're underprivileged based upon their condition. It has nothing to do with money, nothing at all. And that's been stated at meetings, which they keep repeating and repeating. So then the also we're going to be doing our plan. The land use board will be meeting and going over it. We'll have recommendations for the council for their March 30th current deadline with the state to have the revised plan. We will supply the reasonable opportunity to meet some of these numbers that they've called out. Now, in terms of the 64 rehab units and justice requires, listen, the information about those 64 units, we have units without kitchens, we have units. That information comes from the 2020 census. It's not confirmed. So I'd love to know where these units are in Bradley Beach with no bathrooms and no kitchens, okay? I mean, I'm not gonna believe a census document that someone filled out that says, oh, we have no kitchen in our house. So I think that really needs to be clarified, and I would challenge Fair Share Housing on that issue. But we will supply the reasonable opportunity to create the housing in a fair system for the people of Bradley Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments in this one? Seeing none, we'll go to Zoom. Ms. Spillman, see your hand is raised.
Yes, thank you. It's been up for a very long time. I want to follow up on the questions and concerns I raised about the bond ordinance 2025-29 for the pump house, the 54 Ocean Avenue. Because at the last meeting, when I asked about the problem of identifying this property as having bathrooms, and that there was an approved plan that was going to be implemented. Well, the approved plan has apparently not been approved. There is no such thing. The clerk, when asked about when that plan was going to be available on the website, was sent a link to the original May 6th, 2025 council meeting that is on YouTube. And that was the first introduction to that plan for the 54 Ocean Avenue. And that was identified at the time as a great starting point, and that there would be a follow-on sessions to complete the designs, to look at more complete designs. So that was a preliminary. There apparently has not been a follow-up with approved plans later on. So we still are needing complete designs under that grant. At that meeting also, the concerns that were raised was, did we need to have permits and did we have to have CAFRA? And it was said at that meeting, well, we have to investigate CAFRA. Do we know that we do not have a CAFRA? We do not need a CAFRA person?
We are being told by CME Engineering that we do not need a capital permit because we're not expanding.
Why? Why?
Because we're not expanding the footprint of the building.
Yes, for above ground, that may very well be true. And they've got a lovely design above ground. There is nothing in that about the sewer design on how to dispose of the raw sewage that comes from bathrooms. And I'm going to preface this by saying I think that the function of having a bathroom there is a great one. I think the design it looks very, very good. What I am concerned about is what's under the ground, not above it. The building in that footprint is fine, but we do not know, we do not have a design for what the sewage disposal is going to look like underneath that. And I'm very concerned about calling those bathrooms because they were not bathrooms. And even at that initial meeting, it was said that there were scattered parts of toilets in there, and that was what has apparently been used as evidence that there was a bathroom. I know for a fact there was not a bathroom for the last 25 years. And I am pretty darn sure not for the last 45 years. So I'd like to know where this sewer disposal is going to happen. And it sounds like we have an opportunity under this new sewer grant proposal to actually design the real sewage problem that exists there. Because otherwise we're going to risk polluting the beach there if we don't know where that sewage is going to go. And we're going to end up like one of the other beach towns this last summer that had such a sewage problem they had to close down their beaches. We don't want to get there. None of us want to get there. But we have to ask these questions. And if you believe you don't have to have a CAFRA permit because you've already got bathrooms there, that can appear on the face of it to be a fraudulent statement. So until we know that bathrooms were there, and until we know how raw sewage will be disposed of through the sewage system, I think we need to halt the actual above ground work, which is lovely and can be implemented at any time, but we need to know that we are not going to be in jeopardy because we don't have a CAFRA permit, and in jeopardy because we may have a problem with the raw sewage there. So we don't know ever, and it does not appear that there were bathrooms there, and there's no evidence that there ever was.
I'm sorry, Ms. Spillman, we got that point, but the time is run out.
You're out of time.
Thank you.
Ms. Spillman, it's Councilman Weber. I just want to ask you a question. You have a house on Ocean Ave, right?
Yes.
And where does your sewage go? I'll answer my own question and say it goes to a sewer main that's on Ocean Avenue. So simply, you have a pipe that connects the sewage from your house to the sewer main on Ocean Avenue. The exact same thing's going to happen here. They'll connect to the sewer main that runs down Ocean Avenue. I'm not sure anybody needs to see a schematic diagram to show that, but maybe if that's what you
Well,
need to see.
I disagree with that because I don't see that connection from that pump house to that sewer exists.
I just want
I'm
to-
just asking.
We will confirm.
I'm just letting you know that it used to be a bathroom. I walked in there. There's showers. There are bathrooms. They weren't used for maybe for 25 years. That's why we're rehabilitating a building that hasn't been used for its original purpose for 25, 40, 50. We don't know how many years, but we're getting it done. It definitely used to be a bathroom. I was in there. There's bathrooms.
And the trailer that sits 20 feet away also has a connection to the sewer line.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it
We have
doesn't.
other people
No, it
waiting to
doesn't.
speak.
That sewage gets pumped away.
No, it doesn't.
A truck comes and pumps it out.
That's not.
Okay.
Mrs. Spillman, thank you. We will confirm your concerns and make sure that they're not valid with our engineers. If for any reason we find out that you're correct, we will certainly look into it further.
Will this project fall under the sewer design?
No, because it's
Sewer's
just
already there.
connecting. It's just connecting a building to the sewer. It's not a new sewer line.
Okay.
It will fall under that same sewer funding,
We're
right?
going to move on, Mrs. Spillman, but thank you. Mr. Greenberg has his hand up. Don Greenberg?
There we go. Hey guys, let's see, the host is not allowing people to unmute. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Don Greenberg, 202 Park Place Ave. Got a question for you on the planting strip. So I understand that if you have one of those little walkways, you also have a driveway. You sell your house, to get the continuing CO, that has to go away. What about if you're doing a renovation and you have one, you need to get rid of it before you get your CO after the renovation?
It's a CCO, is my understanding, so continued, certificate of continued occupancy. So technicality, Mr. Greenberg, but as far as code enforcement has explained to us, if you need a CCO, you would need to remove the cement.
So is the CCO something you get after renovation, or is that something different?
It's different.
It's different.
He's talking about a UCCCO, which means that all the construction inspections have been completed, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
so
why,
after your
that's why
renovation
this has a different name.
done, are they gonna
CCO.
say, no, you gotta remove that little strip there to get your final CO?
No, but if you require a zoning permit for the construction that you're performing, you might run into the same issue as the CCO.
Okay.
So if you have,
All right,
if you have to
that-
pull a construction permit to do something, you know, like inside your house, and inspection, this isn't gonna apply. It's not, because UCC is governed by the state, and this is a town ordinance, so we don't have the authority really to hold up, unless it's part of a zoning approval, which would be a prior approval, we don't have the authority to hold up construction permits for this issue. Unless you invoke zoning, or the CCO, which also invokes their jurisdiction, so that's how they've structured it to fix it over time.
All right,
Very clever
thanks,
construction
Greg.
part of it.
Appreciate that. And the other thing is, I also agree that it would be great if we can donate some of the profits from the Lorraine Avenue sale to the low-income housing fund. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do. I think it would be the prudent thing to do. So that's all I got, guys.
Thank you, Don. And for the record, that is an idea that's been floated long before it was floated this evening. The council's at least discussed that informally over the past year at least, so I'm sure we will consider it further. Any other hands raised, any other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment, and I will make, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Oh, my thing. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Where's that? No, 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 no. Oh, that's so cute.
He's keeping her